Hey guys, welcome to a bonus video, a reading vlog. I didn't plan on filming, but then this morning I woke up and the frost was just gorgeous. And I love using these vlogs to capture the beauty that is around me, and so this is why we're doing this. So it is already Sunday afternoon, so all morning I was at church, didn't get any reading done, but I do plan on doing some reading and possibly some like family board games and enjoying the outdoors a bit. So I thought I would take you along. It's a reading vlog that might not include a ton of reading, but I will show you the two books that I'm currently mostly focusing on. One is Dune. This one my patron of the month chose for me to read. I'm not very far, about 44 pages. I'm listening to this on audio, so I do not know if I will listen to any of it today. I feel like it's too early in this big of a book to really say much. I am getting Star Wars vibes from the beginning, and that's really all I'll say. And then my main physical read is Six Crimson Cranes. This is a like Asian fantasy story, and our main character is the only princess of Kyoto, and she has magic, but magic is forbidden, and she has turned a crane, like a paper crane, and she's made it real, and things have gone down. Let's see here. Okay, at the beginning of the book, she almost drowns when she falls into a lake, or she jumps into a lake, but ends up almost drowning, and a dragon saves her, and this dragon is teaching her a little bit about her magic. I am 140 pages in, really enjoying this story, really enjoying this floppy paperback. Physical books, I find how a book feels really dictates what I think about it. That's why I struggle with ebooks, and if it's a hard to read paperback, like if I was reading this physically, that would take away from my enjoyment. It's like it's so minor, and yet it really does matter to me. But I am enjoying the story. There has been some major things happening which I kind of don't want to tell you about, because I feel like my whole philosophy is generally anything beyond 50 pages is a spoiler. But some big obstacles have arisen in our main character's life, and she has been separated from her family. And where a little while ago she has kind of found some of her family again, and I'm just curious to see where this story goes, because I don't read a ton of fantasy, and especially not much Asian fantasy. I read one earlier in the fall and really enjoyed that as well, which inspired me to buy this. I feel like I can't predict where the story is going to go because I haven't read a ton of it, and I love that. And right now I'm in the mood for all the fantasy, so I'm probably going to be reading mostly just from this book today, but I am also tempted to start another book, and I don't really know why. So I may or may not do that as well. So we'll see where this video goes. I spent the last like almost 2 hours probably curled up reading Six Crimson Cranes. I'm much further, read over 100 pages, almost 150 pages, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the story. I had no idea where this was going, as I said before. So our main character, her name is Shiori, and pretty much she and her brothers have been cursed, and part of her curse involves not being able to speak, and so it's very interesting to be having this main character who can't actually speak, and she can't write certain things to explain why she can't speak. And this definitely is almost giving me like a Little Princess vibes, as far as a rich girl kind of being demoted. And my door's closed, so Tolkien wants to get out, of course. And just a proof of character when people can be treated poorly and continue to treat people kindly. I really appreciate that. So I will, how many pages do I have left? Like, it would be a stretch to read the last 200, a little under 200 pages yet today. I could probably do it. We are gonna play a board game together as a family, and then I'm going to probably continue this. I still might start another book. Maybe I'll finish this and then start another book, or just start another book, but continuing to enjoy this. So I got this off of Book Outlet a couple months ago, and they have book 2 on there, but only in hardcover. I'm like going back to my liking books to be in a certain format, and I also really like books in a series. I prefer them to be in the same format. It's not going to stop me from buying books, but because this one is so nice in paperback, I'm like, I gotta get the paperback version. Although I'm curious to see how this wraps up. I've heard book 2 isn't as good. Like, do you need book 2? I'm not sure at this point how things are going to resolve. If certain elements are left unresolved, I'm going to have to read book 2. But if certain things wrap up, I might not feel that need. So we'll see. But so far enjoying it. I guess if I don't finish this tonight, maybe I could finish it tomorrow and then just continue this video. I would like to update my final thoughts on the book in this video, so we'll see at what point that is. So we are on to Monday. I did end up finishing 6 Crimson Cranes last night, and then I was just too tired to update. Oh, Tolkien. And I continued to enjoy the book. I enjoyed the ending. Obviously, you can see she's going into a book 2, but I feel like book 1 also wraps up pretty nicely. So if book 2 is kind of disappointing, then I'll just pretend it's a standalone. I do that sometimes. What's really interesting, I find, like this cover, we've got this girl. But the funny thing is, for most of the book, she has a curse where a bowl is covering like half her face. I don't quite get how it works, because she can see things, but people can't see like the top half of her head. Like, how is she, so she can just see through this bowl? I feel like that was not quite worked out completely, or else I missed it. But it's just funny that the cover, then you can see her entire face, because for most of the book no one can see her face. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It definitely reads a bit like a fairy tale. Like, this would be like an Asian fairy tale, it reminded me of. Not that I've really read a lot of that, but so far I have had very good success with the 2 Asian fantasy stories that I've read in the last like few months here. So I wouldn't want to read them all the time. Like, most of my genres I like to switch up all the time anyway, but I definitely want to add more of them into my reading. So I read that, and then I did start another book. I went on a very different note, and I started Emily's Quest. Lately, I've been in the mood for fantasy and classics, and so I'm learning to just lean into the mood, because I enjoy the books more and I read more when I'm reading what I want to be reading. So right now I want to read fantasy and classics, so that's what I'm leaning into. And you can see, like, I enjoyed this book, but I didn't tab a whole lot. Like, there weren't really, like, particularly like passages that either made me laugh or I thought the writing was amazing. And Ella Montgomery, so I've read 18 pages and I've already used like 7 tabs here or so, because her writing is just phenomenal. I love it. So this is book 3 in the Emily Starr series, and I am loving the start of it. I've read like the first chapter and a half maybe, and Emily is attempting to be a writer after high school here, and it's interesting to see her, you know, rejections and things that are accepted, and thinking about how much of this Ella Montgomery is writing out of personal experience. I believe she related to Emily the most, and I feel like she is just Maud, so thoroughly enjoying it. We'll continue this. This was a success. And I listened to a teeny bit of Dune, but not even enough to really mention, so I won't say anything more. Thanks for joining me for this bonus video, an impromptu vlog. It just needed to be done. So now I will be back again tomorrow with another video.